Welcome back to Kevin's Trooper channel, and also welcome to part 1 of the rock slider build. I'm so excited, I finally got everything together. I got my pipe bender, got my metal here. Let me show you what we're gonna do. Come this way. Now, my plan is, let me sit down here where I can go through this with y'all. My plan is, this metal is 3 inches by 1.5. And then I have this metal tubing. And my plan is to run that 1.5 by 3 under here. And then I'm gonna take that tubing and go off of the inside of it up into the frame. Now, one of the problems is this piece right here that sticks down. Obviously, if you want a rock slider on here, this is the first place that it's gonna hit. That is not where you want it to be. So I was gonna try to put a piece of metal coming down to protect this, but that's just gonna lower my clearance here. So my plan is I'm gonna trim this piece of body panel off all the way around, and then I'm gonna run the rock slider all the way out flush like this to the front. And it should turn out really good because this is just hollow. This is just basically just a piece of body panel. So I'm going to, step number 1 is trim this flush. All right, hey, guess what? No more goofy soccer mom fender flare sticking down in the way. Gone, baby, gone. You see right there how much better that looks. Now I think I probably got it a little tilted down at the front. If you look close, it's a little bit tilted down. I'm gonna take a file and kind of file that smooth right there now that I got it that close. I just didn't, I erred on the side of caution. I can always trim a little more off. I just, for the first one, went over. If I would have got it the other way, I could have done nothing. So I went a little extra on that, knowing that I could take a little more off if I didn't get it perfect. But you can see that's pretty darn close, man, and that looks a lot tougher, just like that. Where that doesn't stick down. Good deal. That bar stock is so thick, my saw is having a really hard time cutting it. I almost wish I would have got it a little thinner. I don't think I really needed it that thick. It's heavy. But once I cut it, it's not going to be that heavy. I mean, that whole piece is heavy, but I don't think that little short piece under the window is going to be too heavy to work. I just got to figure out how to cut it. I think I'm going to get my hand grinder out and try that. I got some new cutting blades here. I'm going to try that. I don't think it's so much my saw. I think that blade that's in there is not that great. That's the one that came in it. So I think I'm going to try this and see how this works. And yeah, that's not that heavy at all. After you cut it down, that's maybe 30 pounds. That's not bad. That's gonna work great. And I was able to get a pretty decent cut, if you can see that. All right. Yeah, that's gonna work great. I think I smell my shoe burning. That stuff is hot. I'm trying to think of a way to get a clean line all the way around here. And I do remember we used to have some paper that we would wrap like this back building fence with Dad back in the day. And that way you know you have a straight line. And that works pretty good. All right, I'm back. I had to go wet my hair down and put my do-rag on. I was in the middle of cutting that piece of pipe and I thought I smelled something, smelled like hair burning. And when you got a curly rat's nest like I got, you don't want to get a spark in there, man. Be running around with my hair on fire. So I wet my hair down, I put my do-rag on, and I'm gonna get this cut. Now the reason that I'm not cutting that way, the reason you keep seeing me turn around is because I don't want those sparks to hit the trooper, because what happens is those little hot sparks melt into the bed liner and they sort of stick on it, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm making sure the sparks don't hit the bed liner. All right, now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and 45 both ends of both of them, and then I'll weld some caps on the end. Why I didn't go ahead and cut them 45, I don't think I could have got it as perfect. I wanted to get them cut off first, and then I'll 45 them, smooth them up a little bit and weld them up. And then that part will be finished. Then we'll start on our tubing. This is going a little quicker than I expected. Let me get all this planned out. I'll be right back. All right. It's time to have a dip skull. Think about what I'm doing here for a second. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my table out to work on, because my knees are killing me. All right, let me get you guys caught up to speed. I've decided that I'm not gonna put a 45 in these, because if you look at the contour of the way that the fender flare comes down, it almost is straight at this point. So I'm gonna leave them straight. I'm not gonna cut a 45. I think that would look worse. I'm gonna put just a little bevel so that I can weld. And that's what I've done over here, is I've made sure that they were really square, and I'm gonna leave them flat like that, and then I ground a little bevel so that I can run my bead of welding down in there and it'll catch really, really good. So my plan is that I'm gonna take my spare piece and I'm gonna put it on this piece here and trace it out and make me some end caps, and then I'm gonna weld my end caps on. So what I've done now is I've just ground a little bevel in each end, and now I need some end caps, and we'll weld them straight, and we will have our rock slider part done, and then we can work on our tubes. I got a quick tip for you guys. If you've ever been grinding and you end up pulling your extension cord out of your plug, a real easy thing to do is to take your two cords and tie them in a knot and then plug them in. And then what happens is as you pull, you can't pull your plug out. And there's my end caps. The other thing that I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to put this seam in this metal facing up towards the body. I don't think that seam is going to be that much weaker than the rest of the metal, to be honest with you, but I'm going to go ahead and face it up just as a matter of rule, just because I can. And I'm going to do this flush right here, and we're going to weld these end caps on, and we will have the long pieces finished, and we can start on the tubes. All right, let me show you guys where I'm at. So what I'm doing is I'm making up these end caps. They're gonna get welded right onto the end, like so. And I've ground a little bevel in here to put my bead into as I'm welding. And so this will go right on the end like that on both sides. And I'm going to put a real pretty weld in there, or at least to the best of my ability. And then we're going to grind that down, make it all smooth. And that's going to be the two ends. And that will be the finish of the long pieces. It's time to start welding. And we are all welded up. Now I'm going to grind those welds down and smooth all that out. Well, That's going to conclude day one of the rock sliders. Let me show you how far we got. This is the finished product. You can see the wells turned out pretty nice there. I'm going to do a little more touch up on them and then finish grinding the rest of it down for paint. As you can see, it turned out pretty nice. I'm really glad that I decided not to 45 them. I think they're going to look a lot beefier this way. You can see, let me get you a close-up of how good that looks. Nice and smooth. I got it propped up there and it looks so good. Let me show you. You can see the length came out perfect. Follows the line of the wheel well. And you can see from right here how cool that's gonna look. I got some fine-tune adjusting to do, of course, but you can see really nice. I'm going to go as high as I can with it. It's not going to be quite that low. I'm going to go up probably another ½ inch, almost touching the body. And I may actually tuck it in just a little bit more, but I just wanted to show you guys what it was looking like. Awesome. All right, listen, I really appreciate you guys watching this series and all my other videos. Don't forget to hit the bell so you get the whole series of these videos on the rock sliders. You can go back and watch my move bumper videos if you haven't seen those. And don't forget, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.